Text animation. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do three different types of text animation. So one where each letter of the text, like for example TITLE, appear one after another. How to do a motion tween on them, which you should already know by now, and how to do a shape tween as well. So if I just stop that a second and I go on to my new one here. Now, I'm just going to quickly add three layers. And on my bottom layer, this is where I'm going to do my motion tween. So first of all, I'll need to get some text up and running. So when I click on a T over on the right hand side, you'll probably find that it's set as Times New Roman, an awful green color and a tiny little size. So if I actually just click and type my title, and then actually just select it using the black cursor. You can then just drag this up and down, left and right to give you the size you want it to be. Now, it maxes at 96, but if for some reason you want to do it as 200, you can type it in and it does it for you. So that's something to do. There's the fill can color as well, so you can choose what color you want it to be. And obviously from the drop down menu, you can choose what font style you want to use. And you do have things like bold, italic, and so on as well to look at. You can add filters. So like in one of the other videos I showed, you can add like shadows and blurs to your text if you want to as well. And I think the only other thing really to show you at this point, you can make it center line, right align, that type of thing, which you won't really need to do with this, but it kind of sometimes helps when you're doing certain types of animations. But anyway, let's do a motion tween on this guy here. So I'm going to add a keyframe onto frame number 10 because I don't want it to move straight away. I want it to kind of be paused for a few seconds. And then if I add a frame on just by right clicking and inserting frame, I can press F5 on 40 and just right click somewhere here and press create motion tween. And then all I've got to do on our very last one there is just move this across into a position. So I'm using the black cursor there, and you can see it automatically does this for us. So if I wanted to kind of make it look as if it's bending round, that type of stuff, I can do it. And I'm pretty sure if I go to object, I can. Is it object, orient path? Oh, no, there was the ease there, so I can actually make it so it kind of slows down as it gets. So it starts off quick and it slows down at the end by putting minus 100 in. So let's just wind that back to the beginning. I'll press play, so it's pause for a few seconds, and there's our title. So that's the motion tween. So layer number two, going to do the same thing again. Now I can just copy and paste this if I wanted to. So Control C, Control V. When I press Control V, it will always put it in the middle of the screen. But if I press down Control Shift and V, it puts it in exactly the same position. That's just something you might want to do. But I've just realized I'm going to have to undo that. And in fact, Control X in, because I wasn't actually on layer number two, was I? So let's do Control Shift V, and then I move it up here, and you can see that it's actually there. So this time I'm going to do a shape tween. So I'm going to insert a blank keyframe, and I'm also going to put and insert a frame there as well. In fact, I might have to insert a keyframe there, but we'll come to that in a second. Now then, my I shouldn't have inserted a blank keyframe, should I, stupid? If I insert a keyframe, that's better. And in fact, we'll do that insert frame a little bit later because what I need to do here, I can't do a shape tween on this. So even if I add a frame here and I right click on it won't allow me to do a shape tween. And the reason why is because this is treated as not a shape at this point, it's text. So if I go to modify, I believe it is, or text, and click on, no, it's modify, and click on break apart or Control B, it breaks it down into separate letters. And if I do it one more time, then it actually breaks it down into tiny little pixels. And now this time, if I right click on it, there is the option to create a shape tween. Now, at the moment, it doesn't actually go into anything else. So on this very last one here, I'm going to insert a keyframe. And if I just press play, I'm not quite sure what will happen here. I don't think it'll do anything at all, will it? Because I haven't changed at the end. So what I am going to do, I'm going to press Control V again, because that's my title I did from earlier, which has now appeared on this frame because that's where it was. I'm actually going to change it to some other text. So, hello. And I'm going to do the same process as I just did. Going to press Control B to break apart, Control B again to break apart even further. And on this very last frame, I'm just going to get rid of title there. Now I can't actually click on it, because what it does, it only highlights one letter at a time or one section at a time. But if I get rid of that there, and what we should start seeing happening as I go back through this, so if I press play, it will start off as title, and then it will morph into hello, like that. So that's how you do a shape tween. So that could be quite nice. Now, the last thing I wanted to do, so on layer number 3, Control V, I'm going to have title, but this time I'm going to have it coming in um, letter by letter. And the way to do that is there's no tweening involved, no shape tweens, no motion tweens, no breaking apart. It is quite simply just every few frames, you can do every frame if you wanted to. I'm going to insert a keyframe, and I'm starting off with nothing. So I'm actually going to get rid of everything on here on the first set of frames. I only want T to be on frame number 5. I want insert keyframe. I'm going to add an I to this. And I'm going to keep doing this process until I've spelt out the entire thing. And you can imagine this can be quite painstaking if you're doing this as quite a long word, but it's kind of a nice effect as well. And eventually I'll get to frame number 25 and I insert a keyframe. I add the E, and I'm just going to put a frame for as long as I want it to appear on the screen. So I'm just going to press repeat for the moment so we can just press play and watch these things happening over and over again. You can see that we've got our motion tween, we've got our shape tween, and we've got our letter by letter animation as well.